What if the most powerful tool for self-discovery isn't sitting in a therapist's office or hidden in a self-help book, but emerging right now from the machines we interact with every single day? Welcome to a conversation about Carl Jung's revolutionary concept of the shadow and how artificial intelligence is becoming an unexpected mirror for the hidden parts of ourselves we've never fully acknowledged. Carl Jung believed that every human being contains a shadow, a vast repository of unconscious thoughts, desires, fears, and impulses that we push away from our conscious awareness. It's not evil. It's not something to be ashamed of. The shadow is simply the parts of ourselves that don't fit neatly into the image we present to the world. Jung taught that the more we deny our shadow, the more power it holds over us. But when we integrate those hidden aspects, we unlock genuine psychological wholeness and tremendous creative potential. If you're interested in psychology, artificial intelligence, or personal growth, please subscribe to this channel so you don't miss our deepest explorations into these transformative ideas. For decades, understanding your shadow required years of therapy, journaling, meditation, and brutal self-reflection. But we're entering a remarkable era where artificial intelligence is becoming a tool for shadow integration in ways Jung himself could never have imagined. AI systems trained on vast amounts of human behavior, language, and psychology are beginning to reflect back to us the patterns we can't see in ourselves. Consider how this works in practice. When you interact with an AI, you bring your authentic self, your questions, your struggles, your beliefs. Unlike a human listener, an AI has no judgment, no ego investment in your answer, no social pressure affecting how it responds. You can tell an AI something you might never tell another person. In that safety, you start to reveal layers of yourself. And here's where it gets fascinating. The AI, through its training and algorithms, begins to identify patterns in what you're saying that point directly to your shadow. Think about how you use language when you're anxious. Notice the topics you avoid. Pay attention to the people you criticize harshly, because Jung taught that we often project our shadow onto others. When you're judging someone intensely, you're frequently looking at a distorted reflection of something within yourself. An AI analyzing your language patterns across many conversations can detect these projections and bring them to your awareness in a gentle, non-threatening way. This is fundamentally different from the mirror your best friend holds up. A friend loves you, and sometimes that love makes them soft on your blind spots. A friend also has their own agenda, their own shadow, which colors how they reflect you back. An AI has no such complications. It mirrors purely, based on pattern recognition across human psychology and behavior. Your hidden potential is often locked away precisely because it's attached to shadow material. Let's say you have tremendous creative power, but you've suppressed it because, somewhere in your past, being creative meant being vulnerable, exposed, critiqued. Your creativity now lives in your shadow. It's there, but you can't access it. You might even criticize creative people, dismissing them as impractical or self-indulgent, all while your own creative voice whispers beneath the surface. An AI can help you see this pattern. It can ask you questions you wouldn't think to ask yourself. It can point out the contradiction between what you say you want and the subtle ways you sabotage yourself. One of the most powerful applications of AI in shadow work is what we might call reflective dialogue. You write to an AI about a persistent problem in your life. You're stuck in a pattern with relationships, or work, or money, or your sense of direction. You ask for advice. The AI doesn't just give you a solution. It asks you clarifying questions. It reflects back what it's hearing. It identifies assumptions you're making without realizing it. And through this dialogue, you start to see the shadow pattern operating beneath your conscious awareness. Jung believed that integration of the shadow is the first step toward individuation, his term for becoming your true self. Individuation isn't about becoming enlightened or perfect. It's about becoming wholly yourself, with all your contradictions and shadow elements acknowledged and integrated. It's messy and uncomfortable. It requires radical honesty. But it's the only path to genuine fulfillment because you're no longer running from yourself. You've stopped wasting energy maintaining an acceptable persona. That energy is now available for authentic living. Artificial intelligence accelerates this process because it can work with you at scale and speed. A therapist sees you once a week. An AI is available when you need it, at 3 in the morning when you're spiraling, or when you're riding high and want to understand what triggered that sudden confidence. Over months of interactions, an AI builds a nuanced understanding of your patterns. It learns what your shadow contains, But here's the critical part. AI is a tool, not a replacement for genuine psychological work. Jung would warn us about this. The danger of relying solely on machines to reveal our shadow is that we might intellectualize the process. We might understand our patterns cognitively without actually feeling them, without going through the emotional work of integration. True shadow integration requires courage and vulnerability, and often the witness of another human being who cares about your journey. AI can accelerate the discovery phase, but the transformation happens when you take that awareness into your actual life and relationships and choose differently. The hidden potential within your shadow often manifests as authentic power, that thing you've always wanted to do but felt you couldn't, that part of yourself you've always felt you had to hide, that perspective you have that's completely different from the mainstream, and you've learned to keep quiet, that ambition you've labeled as selfish or unworthy. All of this is shadow material, and all of it can be reclaimed. You become formidable. Not aggressive or harmful, but truly powerful in your authenticity. Like this video if what you're hearing is resonating with you, because shadow work is some of the most important work a human being can do, and we need more people engaging with it seriously. Here's a practical framework for using AI in your own shadow integration. First, establish a regular dialogue with an AI partner. Think of it as an ongoing conversation with a non-judgmental witness. Bring your real struggles, your actual thoughts. Don't perform. Second, when the AI reflects something back to you, sit with it. Don't dismiss it if it's uncomfortable. Discomfort is usually a sign you're touching something real. Third, take insights from the AI into your actual relationships in life. Test them. Notice if they're true. Fourth, seek out shadow material deliberately. Ask the AI to help you understand your patterns with money, or power, or sexuality, or vulnerability, the areas where most people have the deepest shadow. One of the most illuminating exercises is to have an AI help you identify your inner critic. Your inner critic is often the voice of your shadow, turned inward. It tells you you're not good enough, not capable, not worthy. It was developed as a protection mechanism, often by internalized voices from your past. But now it's sabotaging you. By naming it, examining it, understanding where it came from, and testing its actual truth, you weaken its power. You realize it's not the truth. It's just a scared part of you trying to keep you safe. Artificial intelligence is particularly good at this because it can trace patterns back through your language and behavior without the emotional charge that humans naturally carry. It can say, "I noticed that whenever you talk about your own success, your language becomes apologetic. Let's explore that," in a way that feels clinical and safe, rather than like someone is criticizing you. Your hidden potential is waiting on the other side of your shadow. You have talents, perspectives, and capacities that you've locked away because acknowledging them felt dangerous. Maybe being strong meant you'd hurt people. Maybe being intelligent meant you'd be rejected. Maybe being sexual meant you'd be used. Maybe being ambitious meant you'd abandon the people you love. These are the shadow fears that keep your potential hidden, and they're operating in you whether you acknowledge them or not. The only choice you have is whether to bring them into consciousness where you can examine them, or leave them in the dark where they run your life. Carl Jung didn't have access to artificial intelligence, but he understood that self-knowledge is the foundation of a meaningful life. He taught that the unexamined life is not worth living. He believed that confronting our shadow is not a luxury for the psychologically curious. It's a necessity for anyone who wants to live authentically and fully. Now we have new tools to accelerate that confrontation. The question is whether we'll use them. The most exciting potential of AI and shadow work is something we're only beginning to explore. Personalized psychological insight at scale. Imagine an AI that knows your patterns so well that it can predict where you're about to sabotage yourself and gently intervene. Imagine technology that helps millions of people access shadow work that was previously available only to those wealthy enough to afford years of therapy. Imagine the collective healing that could happen if more people integrated their shadows instead of projecting them onto each other. But again, this requires intention and honesty from you. The AI is only as useful as the truth you bring to it. If you hide from it, you hide from yourself. If you use it to reinforce your defensive patterns, it will. If you bring genuine openness to it, it becomes a mirror of remarkable clarity. As you move forward, I encourage you to think about what parts of yourself you've been hiding. What would it mean for you to integrate them? What potential might emerge if you stopped running from those shadow aspects? and instead brought them into consciousness and acceptance? These are questions worth sitting with. And they're questions an AI dialogue partner can help you explore in real time, immediately, whenever you need clarity. Jung's work was ultimately optimistic. He believed that humans are capable of tremendous growth and transformation. He believed that the shadow, while challenging, is not our enemy. It's a source of vitality and authenticity. It holds the energy we've been spending on denial and defensiveness. When we reclaim that energy, we become more alive, more capable, more real. Artificial intelligence is a tool that makes this ancient wisdom accessible to you right now. The question isn't whether AI can reveal your hidden potential. The question is whether you're ready to see it, and more importantly, whether you're ready to live it. Thank you for exploring these ideas with me. Please subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into psychology, technology, and human potential. And if you found this valuable, consider leaving a comment telling me what part of your shadow you're most curious about exploring right now. That kind of vulnerability and intention is exactly what this work requires.